so they actually outlived a lot of steam engines. Hey guys, welcome to another Monday presentation from the Train channel. Okay, it's Dave, the train guy from The Hobby Man by Hearns. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different with Victorian Railway content for a change. Brought you a whole lot of English stuff in the past, and some other bits and pieces, but today we are going to do the IDR Derm, diesel electric rail motor. Okay, there we go. Now the Derm, I wasn't making that up. It actually stands for diesel electric rail motor. So yeah, so if you hear the word Derm, I'm not struggling for something to say or lack of thought. Okay, well this year we've had not much in the way of releases, you know, for Victorian Railway Outline onto the market. You know, obviously the result of post-COVID. There's lots of releases or promises of releases, but nothing's actually come to fruition. So today we're very happy, and I'm very excited too, to present the rail motor, the Derm. Okay, now they were originally, this is a really interesting fact, that they were actually introduced in 1928, so they actually outlived a lot of steam engines. Now they came about for a need as the Victorian Railways needed something as a stopgap because the world was heading into worldwide depression. Running of freight trains with a steam engine and crew was getting very expensive, usually on rural branch lines throughout the state. The then Railway Commissioner at the time, Mr. Clapp, looked very much towards America and the worldwide developments with a motive or internal combustion engine, newfangled machines, petrol motors at that stage, powered rail cars. So in 1928 they came into existence. The first one was built in the States, which is the forerunner of EMD, which went on to be one of the world's biggest locomotive manufacturers. And the next 11 carriages, I believe, 11 rail motors were built as copies out at Newport workshops. They went on to have a long life, and in around about 1954 they were re-engined and repainted into blue and gold. Previous to that they were in sort of an Indian red colour. They're predominantly used on branch lines throughout the state, from Bendigo up to the border and even into New South Wales, and they were known to, even on the other end of the river there, to haul light freight trains with up to 3 or 4 wagons on the flats. They were used also predominantly between Melbourne and Yea and Mansfield into the high country, onto the South Gippsland lines. And there's probably a lot of other places in Victoria where they did travel, maybe not always on regular services, but usually sometimes on charter work or in stand-in work. And they were even used on mainline commute trains between Melbourne and Seymour. And even in the very the later part of their life, they were used on suburban workings out to Werribee and back. So if you are a VR modeler, there's really no excuse for having one of these iconic rail motors. You can usually fit one into any time period, and even now, you can even get RM58, which is operated by Derm at Newport. So you can run it with all your modern rolling stock as well. Anyway, enough of that. On to the unboxing. Okay, it would help if I got that around the right. Okay. So a very attractive looking box. It's in the familiar IDR colours. Now this is their second VR outline release, the first one being their fantastic W, which has often been described as probably one of the better or one of the best ready to run VR models that's been released because of its sound and its stay alive. And that's followed through into the Derm. Well packaged, set of instructions. Now, you've got two options, or actually you've got a few options, apart from all the various colour schemes and periods that these rail motors wore over the years from the time they're in the Victorian Railway Government service through to Vic Rail, even though they were never painted orange, into V-line service. There was a lot of variations into terms of how complicated the paint schemes were. They're predominantly either deep Indian red or blue. And some even at one stage wore a day glow orange stripe in the place of the familiar gold yellow. But anyway, that aside, you do get the option of how they're having it as sound equipped, DCC, or you can fit your own decoder. So if you need to fit your own decoder, they will take a 21 pin decoder. One of the fantastic things about this too is that you get a built-in stay alive with all the models. So if you buy yours as a DC model, when you do fit a decoder to it, you'll actually have that stay alive function will come into play, but that's only when it goes to a DDC function. Okay, just going through it. Now, it is equipped with a ESU Lock Sound 5 decoder. And there's quite a few functions, worthwhile functions. Obviously you've got headlight, interior lighting, which is a good one, playable air horn, which is accurately recorded from the real rail car, drive and hold, which is function 3. You've got coupling sounds on function 4, locomotive brake, dimmable headlight, red light marker, prime mover and start up and shut down, reverse red marker light, and you get curve squeal, passenger doors being slammed, coasting, compressor, and shunt mode, and you can independently switch the front and rear headlights off. Yeah, very concise, very well written instructions. Okay, as per normal these days, it comes in the Ice Cube lock type packaging. Just put that aside. We'll do this. This one's actually comes with a rail or a trailer, but we'll come back to that. Okay. One thing you'll also get is a set of etched brass blinds. So I always love a little bit extra detail being added into your model. Nearly. Okay, so this one's one of the earlier variants in the early 50s. Yeah, how good does that look? Complete with tiger stripes. Yeah, obviously back in the day, the Victorian Railways obviously had people, or issue with people driving, or motorists driving into trains. And you'll see why later on, why I go into that point. Okay, but anyway, this one's beautifully detailed. The earlier variants had this rod type cow catcher, which is all nicely done brass etch, and it's got the earlier style leaf spring bogies. Yeah. Now, IDR just haven't done repaints with all these Derms. Some of them are actually have small variations. It'll be things like the window frames, one-piece windows, or half split windows. Some of the variations will be in regards to the brake gears and the number of cylinders and the reinforcing on the floor. So it's not just one stamped out model. They did put a lot of time and effort into variation, and there's a lot of added on detail like brass steps. And if I can just show you, yeah, there is actually an interior in there. I don't know if you can see that. There's obviously, you've got enough room in there, and the windows are quite large, so if need be and you want to, even if it's a lightly used branch line, you can put some passages in there. And there's obviously room there for a driver too, and there's a bit of driver detail too. You can actually see the back walls painted. I know we're getting a bit of glare off the lights there, and just rolling on the side. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, there's a lot of detail there. Yeah. Anyway, that's the rail matter. Now for the unboxing of the trailer. Now they had their own unique lightweight trailer, but like I mentioned before, they were known to haul maybe a couple of four-wheel open wagons and maybe a louver van on some of their runs, especially around, I think, on the delinquent line. But from time to time, they'd also haul other lightweight wooden bodied passenger rolling stock like BPLs and maybe the old AW. Again, here we go. Just showing you that. That's the finish on it's really nice. It's sort of a nice satin finish. All the fonts to me look correct. Dimensionally, it all looks correct. The only thing I can remark about the trailer is that as supply, it's not lit. The interior on the Derm will be lit. Yeah. Again, yeah, if you just, I'll just try to angle that in. Yeah, you can see a bit of an interior. Yeah, but there's definitely an interior in there. Again, you've got first and second class. And interestingly, just one thing to note on the Derms, first class is always away from the actual noisy bit up front here. So regardless of which way it was travelling, yeah, the first class basher's always got the quiet in. Okay. And just to show you the number of variations we've got in stock at the moment, and there are a lot of variations. And as I was saying before, they did change colour schemes quite a few times. Like I said, from about 1954, they were painted blue and gold, or blue and yellow. As you can see by this probably short-lived scheme, you can probably see that yellow or yellow ochre probably wouldn't really last well in the real world with a diesel engine going full flat chat. And there we go, we've got the just the VR logo, the old VR. Moving along, and some of these do have their accompanying rail cars, or trailers I should say. Another more interesting variant, this one has day glow orange stripes in the place of yellow. Again, like I remarked, they must have had a lot of issues with people running into rail motors at level crossings on country lines. Yeah. I suppose the expectation was they were waiting to see great big puffs of smoke and a steam whistle. Yeah, that's something very... This scheme was actually used in the 60s for a short period of time. And finally, you've got probably the last scheme they wore in around about 91, 86. It's devoid of any first or economy signage on the top here, and more simplified. And probably for a lot of you guys out there, this is probably how you would remember them in the 80s when they were nearing the end of their service life. And just for your information too, if you do want to have one that runs in a contemporary situation, Derm RM58 is also available. We have that in stock. And we also have RM63 as it runs at the moment up at Dalesford, which is a preservation society dedicated to preserving rail motors. All right, we'll put it onto the track and just have a bit of a play. Hope you can see that. Okay. Sounds pretty cool, eh? If anyone's ever seen the real thing, you'd know that double stacked diesel engine sounds correct. It's sort of an up and down revving noise. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all the sound functions today, but I thought I'd just run that through just to give you a bit of an idea how good that sounds. Yeah, don't you like that? Yeah. Could play with this all day. Yeah, they never went anywhere fast. I do like that idling noise. We're out of track. Anyway, that's it. If you are interested, and I would suggest if you want to get one, get in quick. We can't guarantee how long they'll stay in stock. They've already proven to be very popular with both stores. You can either go Hearns online or Hobbyman online, or you can visit us in store. Just remember, any ordered online with either store, it's free shipping within Australia. So I think you'll be over $100. So I think you'll get there with this. And we have a few to choose from. Like I said, you have the units with the trailer, and as single units, DC and DCC with sound. Yeah. So for now, that's it. Happy modelling, and see you next time. Cheers for now. Bye.